Hey guys, we are back on the road. I'm Stefan from Motor Travel, and I want to talk to you about the pros and cons of riding in a group or doing the whole trip by yourself. I think I can talk about my experience in riding in a big group, small group, or being alone on the road. Let's go over the pros and cons of each. Let's start with bigger groups like 4, 5, 6 people. Riding in such a large group can be a very dangerous endeavor. Like it or not, you will be put into situations where you feel out of your depth or you're downright angry. Let me give you an example. On my last trip to Norway, I was actually traveling alone, but I buddied up after a couple of days with a whole bunch of guys from Ireland, and they've been smashing. We had such a laugh. But on the second day, I decided to go on my own. The chap who was leading the way got us from one bad situation to the other. He did not respect the speed limit. His overtaking was, well, at least very dangerous, and he got the whole group in trouble. In the end, I found it way better just to hold back, fall behind, and told everyone at the next stop that I'd make my own pace. Now just imagine for a minute, that group are the people you organize the whole trip with, where you agreed where you go, your time schedule and everything, accommodation, ferries, you name it. I think at this point you're just asking for trouble. That alone will have a detrimental effect on the friendships and the long-term relationships you had with your riding buddies. And we shouldn't be really surprised about this. We all have different motorbikes, different skill sets, different riding styles, and different expectations. In the planning stage, we tend to agree with pretty much everything just to get everything off the ground. But when you're on the road, the reality kicks in, and the reality most of the time doesn't look like what you made up for on paper. Well, on the other side, it shouldn't be all doom and gloom, shouldn't it? So let's look at the positive sides of riding in a bigger group. First of all, there is always someone there for you. You're never alone. If you have a problem, there's always someone in the group who can help you out. Moral support you get out of a bigger group is a fantastic thing on a long trip, especially when you're not used to riding long journeys. But then on the other hand, you may be inclined to push yourself to a limit where you're not comfortable with, and that can have devastating consequences. So the bottom line of this is, if you ride in a big group, stand your ground. Do not get yourself into situations where you don't want to be, and make your voice heard. If it's too much for you, say so. And if your friends are not able to accommodate your wishes, well, let me tell you, they are not good friends. So how about smaller groups, say 2, 3, 4 people? Well, it's definitely not as complicated than putting up with a large group, but it has its own little challenges. In a smaller group, you have complete different dynamics. For example, you have to work closer together because obviously you can't fit in a little bit and let other people take over. In a small group, you're right in the middle of it. So all your little habits and quirks are laid bare in no time. At the same token, it's easier to agree things if you're just a handful of people, and I think the overall pace is maybe different. I did have some wonderful times traveling in a small group of people because it's so much easier to arrange what you want to do. And if you feel like it, you can always have like a day out on your own and meet up with the rest of the gang further down the road. I believe a group of 3 to 4 people is the ideal size. I don't mind to go on a short trip with a bunch of people because you can have tremendous fun and you cherish the memories. If you choose to ride just with one other riding partner, you really have to be in sync with each other. There's one thing you really have to remember and take it to heart. Whatever you agreed before the trip counts, because if you step out of line, you just make the other guy's trip a misery. A mutual understanding of what you want to achieve on that trip is absolutely important between both of you. And it starts with little things: the pace you travel, the distance you want to travel, eating habits, sleeping habits, absolutely everything you have to take to account and accommodate. It is so easy to get annoyed and fed up when you only have one person around you. In fact, I think all your negativity you come across, even if it's your fault, you will funnel towards the other person. So it's critical you keep an open mind. Even if your other riding partner has a bit of a bad day, you just have to put up with it and plow on. I think nothing is more important than mutual respect. Let me explain something to you. Sometimes I go riding with my friend Neil, and Neil has a smaller bike and he has a complete different riding style. Now, if I lead the way, I know I will be too fast for him, but it's just the fact that my motorbike is bigger and the whole dynamics around it. If I let my bike roll out, I definitely have a different pace to him. So it's so much easier if I just ride behind him and let him lead. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't take anything away from the fun of riding. And, we both arrive together. I don't have to look in the rear mirror, and Neil doesn't have to go in any situation he doesn't feel comfortable with. Looking out for your riding partner, I think that should be your primary concern. I could never forgive myself if something happened to my riding partner just because my ego got the better of me. So that brings me to the last point: riding it all alone. Well, I'm not hiding around the bush here. Riding alone is my preferred choice when I go on a long distance motorbike trip. Just talking about it gives me goosebumps. I had so many exciting memories. Yes, there are some downsides to it. First of all, mentally, it's just a much stronger experience because you are on your own. Sometimes it gets really intense. Now, I think the first thing is you have to be able to get on with yourself. You have no one to talk to, you have no one to blame. It's all down to yourself. You truly have to enjoy your own company. The other side of the coin is this massive sense of achievement when you are on the road on your own. It is fabulous. Everyone who did it can tell you all about it. It is the feeling of personal achievement, the freedom of doing what you want. You do not look back, you only look forward. It is this absolutely fantastic sense of overwhelming bliss. I can't describe it any other way. And it doesn't matter if things go wrong. You grow out of it. You get stronger, you go stronger mentally, and you realize things in your life get a complete different meaning. There is no doubt in my mind, there's absolutely not the slightest doubt in my mind, if you do long distance trip by yourself, you will be a different person when you come home. all the experiences of your travel and the emotions who come with it, they will fundamentally change you. But as with everything, just keep in mind, when you're back home, not everyone wants to hear your stories. You are back, you want to tell everyone everything in one go. Let me tell you, nobody cares. But that's okay. They are your stories, they are your emotion, they are your experiences, and they will live for the rest of your life deep in your heart and in your soul. And I bet with you, you will not be able to wait until you're back on the road all by yourself, just to get yourself another dose of this amazing feeling of riding alone. So I hope that all makes sense and I didn't bubble along for too long. If you liked my video, please let me know. Leave a comment in the section below, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon, and share it if you want to. Until next time, you take care and ride safe.